So it's bath day for the girls, and you might be able to tell from the weather around me that it's hot and summertime. We live in Central Texas, and we typically have a once a week or so bath and grooming regimen for them. It tends to work great for us. It keeps their coat in great condition. We get lots of compliments, and when they blow their coats out, or at least Sadie so far, she's the only one so far who has done it, she really didn't fully get naked, as they say, with her coat. She just kind of rolled her coat out, and the worst stage of her coat blowing really wasn't all that horrible. But anyway, just thought we'd do some instructional videos from our point of view as fairly newbies in the area, and just show you just how we do it with our dogs. Enjoy. So we have two girls. We have Sadie, who's 19 months old, and we have Aster, who is almost 8 months old. And when we do their baths, we're going to start with Aster, and we're going to run all through the process with her. She's got a different coat right now. She's got a puppy coat, so it's kind of wavy and a little bit unruly. So we'll just kind of show how we take care of that as far as all of her grooming. And then we'll do Sadie, who's got an adult coat. And
she's in season.
Oh, and Sadie happens to also be in season. This is her second season, so that adds a little bit of an added element of not the usual with her, but there's lots of different ways to do all the different things that we do. We just like, this is what works for us, and we like the way our girls' coats are, so this is our process.
Just the shampoo that we use, that we find keeps them nice and white and clear. The Clear Start, that's the basic shampoo. And then the ultimate, the Ultra Red White, that is what we use for their potty areas, or for the areas that sometimes may get a little stained. So that's it. So with two dogs, we usually set up the X-Pen so that the other one can kind of stay in waiting. Okay. Say hi. Do you want to explain what you're doing and what you're using?
We're just rinsing down, wash the butt. We use this little thing and scrub the shampoo in a little bit, lather it up. It helps to lather it up a little bit. This is the regular Clean and Start shampoo that we mostly use. We also have this stuff that we use on if they have like a little bit of pee stains or whatever on their back end, just use a little bit of this only in that area. This stuff goes on the whole body.
And then the booster bath, we got that.
Booster bath, which is awesome. I think this is the large size, and it has a 3-way tether comes with, and it has like ties them in. Okay, so I do the back end first. It's a trick I learned just from doing this, because she tends to not shake, to shake the water all off her when you've started with her back end. Once her neck and her head gets wet, she's all about shaking, and then I get soaked. So I'll do the back end, lather it all up, leave this all dry at first, and then I move forward. When I rinse her head, I try to not let the water go down through her ears. I just kind of pull the nozzle right up close, get it around her face, under her mouth, right along her cheeks like this, and under her ears. And then I let a little bit run from the top down over her ears, and then nothing goes in her ears. Hi! Hi, Aster. Okay. Sometimes you have a little bit of tear staining when they're brand new baby puppies. We had a little bit of that with Aster when we brought her home. And we just tend to try and keep it clean, wipe it off every time there's any goop. And we had some special wipes and natural drops that were basically just water and saline to help rinse out any allergens. But she's all clear of it now, as you can see. Okay, Aster's ready to get out of the tub. We just kind of do this in a careful way. She's excited to get out, but I'm going to make her get out the safe way. We turn around, jump right out. Now she likes to do a little bit of shaking and dancing around. Try to shake that water off. Shake it off, say, Aster. Shake it off, baby. Shake it off. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. Yes, it is a good girl. Yes, it is a good girl. You had a good bath. You had a good bath. You had a good bath. Yes,
This also kind of serves to makes it not so traumatic by goofing around a little bit with in between the bath part, which is kind of stressful a little bit, and the blowing out, which can be a little bit stressful too. Aster's just a puppy, so out front we had the bathing area, and then in warm weather, it's like 90 degrees out. We and it's a morning, so the front gets full sun. So we just use the back porch, which is a little bit more shaded for when we do the drying. We use the K9 2. One nice thing about that, it has the adjustable speed for different areas. Obviously, they're somewhat sensitive. And these are pretty much the basic tools that we use for a basic groom or a basic bath and wash and blowout, not for show. Dremel, really important for the feet, makes it so much easier. Just brushes, very simple. Comb, the metal comb's great. That's been just an extension of the metal comb. These two brushes, and that's generally about it. Once we get started on the dogs, we'll go ahead and... Aster's up on the table now.
Aster's up. Ready to start drying? This dryer comes with this nozzle, but for her back area, since she's got a puppy coat and it's all wavy, I take the nozzle off before I start. So take that off, set it aside.
I was told about the adjustable.
And I brush it out while I'm drying it. It helps a little bit get rid of that curly wave, although you can't completely get rid of it. It's important to get all the way down to their skin when you dry their fur. Completely dry. And it feels different. Like you'll notice, this might look dry, but once you stick your hands in it, you'll notice a difference once it's actually dry. It's much softer, moves easier around your hand. It's especially important down their spine and by the base of their tail. That part seems to take the longest to dry. Of this high-speed dryer is you can also blow any loose coat out. This helps even between when they're blowing their coat. This helps to get any of that loose hair that's underneath the guard hairs out of their coat.
And that's with the nozzle on
With
it.
the nozzle is much more forceful. Got a hummingbird. Might see a little bit coming off. Blowing right off her hair.
You can't necessarily see it, but there's a pretty good amount of hair that's just kind of blowing off and going all over. Okay.
Okay, I'm covered in hair, which always happens. Okay, now her body is mostly dry. Now I'm gonna do her pants. This is what we call the pants, the back end underneath her tail, and just right up in here between her back legs.
Definitely sensitive.
And then her head. And these are the areas that I turn the blower down a little bit lower of a velocity, so it's not as noisy and not as forceful.
And take the nozzle off as well most of the time.
Yeah, because then it's not too. And her toes, they don't really like it when you fiercely blow their toes out really hard. So I'll turn it on, take the nozzle off.
The other thing that we kind of discovered, it's been a couple of weeks since we did it, since we just went through a big batch of shows. So there's the longer you wait between baths and blowouts like this, the more hair they're continually shedding. So the more hair you're apt to see it coming out. So we definitely saw more than we would expect normally. And she's not blowing coat or anything, but you know, that's why it's good to keep a good routine. Good.
So not even halfway up. I'll do her face. And without the nozzle, I get right in close to her cheeks, right up against her head.
I just take
Not in her ears. I'm gonna go around her ears and do up around in between her ears, right up touching her head. And the tips of the ears, for whatever reason, take the longest. Then I pinch her ears shut, just to have her so she doesn't hear it so loud in her ear while I do right around.